Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and I am by myself today because today we are doing the LCK. I'm just quickly setting this up, but we are coming off of LCK being Rift Rival champions over the LPL, and that's fantastic because I did not think they had a shot going into that tournament. To be honest, I thought maybe Griffin had it, but with the way SKT was playing and Kingzone was only looking all right, and Damwon had been on a really hot streak, so I was fine with them too. But yeah, I was really thinking it was only gonna be Griffin and possibly Damwon for the whole way through, and it turned out all of Korea played amazing, and maybe they're not as bad as everyone, including myself, thought they were. So since the games happened, excuse me for that, but since the games happened 2 weeks ago, like the other podcast, we're not gonna be doing the match history from last week or from the 26th. But we will just be getting straight into the power rankings, and then we'll do predictions, and then by next week everything should be smooth sailing, typical podcast. So this will be a short podcast. Uh, First up, we have Sandbox Gaming as the number one team. They won their game against Janair. Now I know that's not too impressive. Here, let's pull this up here. Let's pull it up over here as well. So we'll move this here and this here. Okay. So we have Sandbox number one. They had a victory over Genji, which is pretty good, and then Jin Air. That's not that too impressive. It's just Jin Air, so that's no big deal. But they had originally been number one, and if you win your week with the 2-0 and the 2-0, you can't really, in my opinion, you should never drop. Griffin also stayed at number two with a 2-0 against Jin Air and a 2-0 against Kingzone, which was very impressive. Damwon as well also had a 2-0 against Afrika and 2-0 against Hama Life. These three teams are. It's kind of weird to think about. Like, say, 14 months ago, we didn't. Unless you followed the Challenger League for Korea, we didn't know anything about all three of these teams. You had Griffin just coming in for the first time. They had just won, like, say 14 months ago, they had just won the spring split qualifier to get into summer split, and then Sandbox and Damwon were both brand new teams coming in the spring, and we had them just appear out of nowhere and just pretty much absolutely not I wouldn't say absolutely dominate, but they did really well last split with, I believe, Sandbox got third and Damwon got fifth, and then on top of that, now Damwon and Sandbox is tied for first, and Damwon's only one game behind on a 6 game win streak. So they're both on 6 game win streaks actually. So they're looking very, very strong. I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. I figured one of them was for sure to falter this split. And I originally was like, oh, I thought it was Sandbox originally. Dead wrong. Completely wrong. I believe I had Sandbox 8th in my preseason power rankings, and that was just a complete mistake because of just the way they looked in the spring playoffs last year. But they've completely turned it around to be how they looked in the regular season more so. And Damwon as well. I originally saw them go 0-2. I'm like, okay, so this is the team that got figured out. I figured one of them was going to get figured out by summer split, and I was completely wrong. And it just happens, you know? It just happens. We are, oops, I did not put this for the week, but there's another 7-3 week. So we are up to 24-16, which is pretty good. 24 divided by 40, so we can just do a quick whoop. We are at a 60% pick rate, which is okay. It's okay. That's not terrible. But 60% pick rate with we could do better. We got 73% last year or last split, so hopefully we improve. We had a rough first 2 weeks again. But okay, let's go. Let's talk power rankings. The top three, fantastic. Kingzone number four, the only team in the top four to lose even a game this week, with Kingzone winning against Hama Life 2-1 and then losing 2-0 to Griffin. So they, even though that hasn't necessarily dropped them at all for going 1-1 like that, because the loss to Griffin's not terrible. Losing a game to Hama was a little shaky, but that's not too bad. SKT, however, has skyrocketed in my rankings. It might be a little biased, as SKT was previously 1-5 before this, with only a win against Janair. But they came in and 2-0'd KT, and then which I wasn't super surprised about. I believe I picked SKT to beat them. I was very surprised about the 2-0 against Genji, and that was where I was like, okay, this team is back. Followed up by as well Genji not winning a game this week, as well as KT not winning a game, and Afrika did win one, but they got 2-0'd by Damwon as well. So actually, we're gonna. I forgot that Afrika won that one. In my head, they had all three of them had not won a single game this week. So that's why I dropped them all. Afrika still drops, but they're gonna drop to number six instead of number seven. Actually, they would say the same. They were number six originally, and Gen G was number seven. But yes, so SKT is going to move all the way up from number 8 on my list, all the way up to number 5. Hama Life stays at number 9 with a 2-0 and a 2-1. It was a good win against Kingzone, or a good one-game win against Kingzone, but they didn't win a series, so that's not going to help you too much. And they've fallen all the way down to 8th, and or tied for 8th with KT. And Jin Air has fallen all the way down to 10th. They haven't fallen there. They've been there. They've been there since the very first beginning of spring split. 2-16 game wise, 0-8 total. They have 2 wins. What they do in spring? How many wins did they get there? So since we've been watching Korea, we've seen Jin Air win 5 games and lose 51. So this 2019, Jin Air is 5-51, not counting the promotion games. So that's not good. They don't even have enough wins combined to win 3 series so far over the course of all of 2019. So it's been a rough year for Jin Air. The sad plane is not doing great and probably have to go through relegations again to in the promo tournament to get back into Korea or the LCK to stay out of Korea Challenger. But with that, that is our power ranking. So let us move on straight to the games for this week, where we have Kingzone versus KT. I think that KT is on they're very far down at the moment. They've lost 4 series in a row after an okay 2-2 start. It wasn't the best, but wasn't the worst. Definitely with them having to fight for relegations last split. But since then, they've lost 4 straight series, and they have not looked good at all in them. Let's see, they got 0-2'd, or 2-0'd, 2-0'd, 2-1 against Sandbox. They did look good in that, but 2-0, and they had won that one. Damn it, where is it? 2-0. Oh, that's all Forta. So yeah, they haven't won more than 1 game since June 12th. They are 1-8 since June 12th. So that is really, really bad. Or June 16th, or whenever they lost. Yeah, June 16th. Sorry, but yes, it's still been a long. It's almost been a month since KT's won more than 1 game, and it's pretty. It's looking pretty bad at the moment. I think Kingzone is going to bounce back easily against from that Griffin game. I think they're actually going to 2-0 KT here. I could possibly. I can't see the upset now. I was going to say maybe because of Rift Rival situation, but no. SKT versus Hanwha Life. Hanwha Life never beats teams above them. Unfortunately for Hanwha Life, SKT officially got above them just last week with their 2-0 week, so SKT should be able to handle this one just fine with a 2-0 victory. I think that SKT is back. I think that they just looked so much cleaner. They looked like the SKT of old, and they finally got their mojo back, in my opinion, compared to where they were looking just a few weeks ago, where they were just losing to every team around, like Griffin. I guess Griffin's a damn one though, and they lost just everyone. Everyone was beating SKT, Kingzone, Sandbox, and Afrika. So I guess they played some tough opponents. Now that I look back at it, but they'll be fine. They'll beat Hanwha Life pretty easily. Sandbox Gaming versus Damwon Gaming, an absolutely game of the week. If I'm looking at this correctly, yes. Maybe Damwon Kingzone? No. Sandbox Gaming Damwon, definitely. Sandbox Gaming Damwon. It's going to be game of the week. I think it's going to be spicy. 2 organizations. Damwon wins. They're tied for first with, I guess, depending on what Griffin does, at least tied with Sandbox for second place. If Sandbox wins, they continue to position themselves in a fight for that very first spot, which they did last split as well towards the beginning of the season. I think in this one I am going to go Sandbox Gaming because of Rift Rivals. I think that Sandbox Gaming is better slightly than Damwon Gaming, but the added break that they had compared to Damwon didn't get that break because because they were at Rift Rivals. I think that will help Sandbox early on, and Sandbox should be able to take this one in a 2-1, very close, very exciting series. Next, we have a Freak of Freaks and Jin. A Freak of Freaks is gonna win this game. I don't want to do any analysis on Jin games until they show me any. Like I just said, they're 5-51 since I've been watching LCK. like I've been outside. I paid attention to LCK before, but like since I've been fully watching LCK, they're 5-51. I hate watching this team because I know the outcome of almost every single game. There's only been 5 times where I didn't know the outcome of the game, and that was the 5 wins that Jin has. Griffin versus Genji. Genji on super bad week last week, losing to SKT 2-0 and Sandbox 2-0. Didn't really put up a fight compared to Griffin, just coming off a 2-0 victory over Kingzone and a 2-0 over Jin, as well as a victory at Rift Rivals, which again was amazing for Korea. So I think Griffin comes in, they will do just fine against Sandbox. I think this will be another 2-0. I think there's going to be a lot of 2-0s this week, at least so far. The first half, I should say. We get the rematch of SKT versus KT. It's only been 1 week in the standings, but it's been 2 weeks total, and I don't think anything has changed for KT's favor and at this point, outside of maybe another loss against Kingzone. So I'm gonna go SKT again. SKT is gonna roll with 4 straight wins after this week and be all the way back up to 5-5, like nothing ever happened. They weren't 1-5 sitting in relegations after week 3. No, they're back to 5-5 and in title contention, or at least playoff contention again. And KT's back in relegations, which is kind of sad considering we were all looking really forward to seeing KT recover with Prey coming out of retirement. It has not looked to be the case, though. I know there was a lot of hype around them, and I bought into a lot of that hype as well. I believe I had them 5th coming into the preseason, but definitely not that team. Not this team at all. Score just doesn't look the same at all. Smeb as well. Just we were hoping for a bounce back year, and it has not. Our bounce back split, and it has not been a bounce back split whatsoever. Sandbox versus Jin. Sandbox 2-0. Simple as that. Don't need it anymore. If Jin wins, I don't even know what I'd do. I'd eat my hat. They win 2-0. I gotta make it because I said that before with Jin against SKT, and they almost beat them in week 1. So I gotta make it harder with a 2-0. Damwon Gaming versus SKT, or versus Kingzone, not SKT. I was just talking about SKT, so they're in my head. Damwon Gaming versus Kingzone is going to be a pretty good game as well. So Damwon has a tough test ahead. Unfortunately for them, I think because of that, they are going to drop both games this week. And so when you face 2 really good teams in the same week, it's really hard to prep for both of them. Like for example, Sandbox Gaming, when they have to face Damwon and then they have to face Jin. They really don't have to prep as hard for Jin as they have for Damwon. So I think that's also another advantage for the Sandbox pick down there. So unfortunately for Kingzone also has KT as well. So I think that this is going to be a really, really tough week for Damwon. I'm unfortunately picking them to go 0-2, which would stop their 6-game win streak. However, if they win both these games, it would not surprise me as much, as I have both the games they are in as 2-1s, and none of the other series so far I think are going to be very close, except for the Damwon series this week. Same with this one, Afrika versus Griffin. Griffin should be able. They have lost to Afrika. Was that their only loss this year? Yes, it was to Sandbox, or not Sandbox. No, it is to Sandbox. My bad, I misread this chart. But yeah, Griffin is 1-0 to Afrika. They lost to Afrika last split. That's what it was. But yes, Griffin should be able to take care of business against Afrika. I think this one will be another 2-0. So I have a lot of 2-0s, like I said, this week. I think there's going to be 7 of them, because this one is going to be a 2-1 between Hanwha Life and Genji. It's going to be a very close battle. Unfortunately for Hanwha Life, I think that Genji is slightly better than them, so I'm going to give them the slight edge in this game. I don't think Hanwha Life is very good at all. I think they're going to be, honestly, fighting for... Usually, Hanwha Life is sitting at that 6th place spot, so maybe they'll win some games to get back there. But in my eyes, I don't see them winning many games at all. Outside of Lava's been playing pretty alright, but like the rest of the team's been really struggling. Like Sangyun and Key have not had a good split in all, in my opinion. But that that is going to be and Mugen's been okay, and not too much. Well, it's tough to be good when you're 2-6 or 6-13. It's better than 2-16 though. But that is going to be our podcast, or 6-4, 12, I should say. But that's going to be our podcast for today. It's a quick one, like I said. But yesterday was an hour long, but this one's only 15 minutes. Thank you guys for coming to watch. Though tomorrow we'll be going back to our LMS podcast, as well as we won't, as well as not having an LEC podcast. As if you've watched our other podcast, the LEC podcast for this week's already out because we didn't realize LEC had a break for after Rift Rivals. We didn't realize they had an extra week break there. But yeah, so then after that Friday will be the Wildcard podcast, and that will be all the podcasts for the week, as I no longer have to do podcasts on Saturday, even though I wasn't able to do them because of the power outage. But either way, Saturday podcasts are really hard for me. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to watch, and we'll see you Wednesday for the LMS. Good night.